Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to kind of be wondering what are the main ways to really increase your power, and at the same time, for example, for your weapon, should you pull the weapon, should you not? What should you prioritize exactly early game? So let's really get into this. So power level, we could see my Ikkaku and my Ichigo especially are pretty high at this point, right? We're level 50. There is a little bit of a gap with Kisuke, and then someone like Byakuya is at 10,000. So what makes those gaps? Well, let's kind of get into it. So obviously, first of all, very simple, level up your units. Whenever you can, definitely level them up, okay? Obviously, it's also going to give the standard pull, so like just in general, leveling up your units will be good. I have most of my box. I have to get Sajin up though. I'm missing stamina, but a lot of my boxes at level 50. I'm trying to get everyone to 50 for that ticket, but for now, you guys only focus on your main units. And then we go to the weapon, right? So let's not look at the stamp, but of course, make sure to also enhance your weapon. What I absolutely love about this game is you could switch weapons or switch stamps and the weapon stays level 50, right? So the level of your weapon is not tied to the stamp, right? The stamp has no level, and I think that is so sick. I do think that it's going to be so much less annoying long term, because sometimes if there's better weapons, well, you're going to want to place another one. Well, you don't have to do that in this game, and I'm really happy about that. So even early on, if you like get a 4-star stamp, you put it on, you could still level up the weapon, and later on you get the 5-star stamp, well, the level's going to be there. So let's talk about if you should summon for stamps, right? Especially for limited units. Now, I'd say that we're in a game where if you're going to summon for a character, you're going to want to summon for their stamps. Now, the good thing is it's only 40 pity, right? 40 pity is quite generous in these types of gachas for the weapon, right? We could definitely consider this the weapon, and it is extremely generous. Let's just be real. Now, we could essentially show what exactly it's doing. I think I could go to free practice. So let's just take them out. I just want to show Ichigo. And you're going to see that, well, for the most part, Ichigo does actually, I love that they have this, by the way. So you're going to see the difference. So that is the difference with the weapon. If you don't have the weapon, you would notice it right away. Let's change it. So let's say we take it out, right? We just put another one and then we go back in. What you're going to see is actually his gameplay changes. So this is something that affects your damage, but also kind of the playstyle just a little bit. So if you check now, right, if you do the normal like charge attack, there's only one Ichigo. There's no more extra duplicates that are attacking like a vortex, right? So this is something that will affect it, because keep in mind, if you're attacking in that like triangular like vortex, right, you do kind of create, well, a vortex, right, that everyone's going to get sucked into, and especially alongside Kisuke, it's going to be very good. And of course, just what they give, right? 50% weapon stat bonus, and then afterwards crit rate, which for Ichigo, especially for getting that A1, the A1 gives extra crit rate, which I got lucky and I got it. And then also whenever you crit, you lower the skill cooldown. So it's like with this weapon, it's going to be very strong. And as you can see here, yeah, you get the after images, which do more damage. So I would definitely say for limited units especially, get the weapons. Now, for the standards, also get their stamps, right? There are some really good ones. This one's doing 2400% as a follow-up after ulting, which is insane, right? Let's look at the ult itself. Let's even look at the Ichigo's ult. Ichigo's ult is like 2250 for a nuke. So Kaname's weapon is giving him an extra nuke just for having the stamp, right? So that is going to be very strong. And of course, more wound stacks is also great. So I think that you're going to really want to prioritize them. Now, in terms of like, for just to make sure, like a little stamp guide, I would say probably Kisuke's is going to be first. Afterwards, get Kaname's. I think then you could go for Ikkaku's, then go for Yoruichi's, and then Byakuya's, and then Sajin's. Okay, I'm putting Yoruichi over Byakuya just because she's a DPS, so it might be a bit more worth it. So that's it for stamps. Just wanted to kind of make that clear. Stamps are very good. You're going to want the 5-star versions at some point. At least they give you 100 stamp pulls, so bare minimum, you're getting 2.5 where you could select. But you're going to get lucky. I got lucky, and then you're going to get more. So big W. Now, skills. Definitely upgrade your skills. Obviously, you're going to get the skill levels, and they're going to increase as you level up. You know, just to make sure it's clear. 4 skills, obviously. If you go into supplies, well, they're going to be over here. Don't prioritize them like too much right now. You don't need to go too crazy on it, but you're always going to have some value from this. I don't think you need to go super duper crazy on skill levels just yet, but definitely it's not going to be bad if you do, right? I think it's one of the actually higher quality ones in terms of like the ones that give you more worth for right now. So there is that, right? And then of course, get these. So I actually was farming this, and these are going to be gotten from the hollow elimination, which I said in multiple videos, especially the stamina video. This one is actually really good to farm right now, because if you see here, the first one gives 5, the second one gives 5 to 6, the third one gives 6. So you're not getting some insane boost as you get higher level. And because of that, I think you're fine to grind the Omomoris as you go whenever you have extra stamina. So because of this, I think that farming these now for your units, right? Ichigo is it by typing? No. So basically here you see support, right? If you want for Kisuke, you go for support. If you want for like field units, you get the tactic ones. And then the assault are obviously for the DPS. And oh wait, I think these are, because I'm missing one of his passives and I'm trying to think if it's because of this. Yeah, it is. Oh, I'm gonna have to do this right after. This is actually like, this changes how you play with Kisuke. I was wondering why I wasn't like getting a second stack. It's because I was being stupid and I didn't get his skill. Oh my god, okay. That's actually so good then. Now, for boundaries, let's once again talk about this. I think this game, Bleach, is way better if you invest it's better with this game to do horizontal investment. So horizontal investment would look like getting one character and one weapon, not doing more, but definitely you want to make sure, like, obviously you can get dupes. You can. This is not going to be bad, right? It's not going to be bad for sure. You're just going to probably want, as like a free-to-play low spender, to get more units than vertically investing in a couple units with more dupes. However, Ichigo's A1 if you do plan, because like, you know, maybe it's a reroll account and you have extra pulls or something, Ichigo's A1 is really good. So obviously for the limiteds, that's a different story. But for like standard units, should you get their dupes? Like for example, if you see in here, right, these, should you get them? No. Always get limited tickets from this. Okay, like you could get probably an extra 2 multis to 3 multis just from this, right? Which is going to increase your pull currency by so much. So I do recommend getting limited tickets instead of actually getting the dupes here. But if you pull dupes naturally, then obviously that's great. Obviously that's great. Boundary is the dupes. So, you know, big W. And I gotta say Yoruichi's is probably the best art here. It looks so good. So obviously for 4 stars also, keep in mind, check out who's rate up, right? Because for example, Ichigo's banner has a lot of value because Yachiru and Uryu are both rated up on their banner. And Uryu, especially Uryu, has just such a crazy amount of dupes, and like he's such a good DPS for 4-star for like players, right? That even if you don't get or don't want Ikkaku, for example, and you're like maybe okay, I'm just gonna wait for Gin. Well, Uryu is a really good replacement alongside Yachiru, so there is that. Now, last but not least, we've got, well, 2 things on this page. First of all, we got the stamps. So let's explain how exactly these stamps work. First of all, you got an exclusive stamp, and then afterwards you got gear sets. That's how I would like to consider it. So the exclusive stamps, where do you get them? Well, if you go in trial, you go in stamp corridor, you're going to be able to get these. So after a certain amount of time, you're going to get a drop, right? So once it gets to 100%, the next run you do is guaranteed to have one of these on top. So it's either the ones for the units, right? Up like from Byakuya to Yoruichi are all exclusive character ones. And then the other ones work on all characters. I think there's some that are decent, but there's not a lot, right? Honestly, there's not a lot that I feel like you should run. This one's nice. This one is really nice, right? Just free 8% extra damage boost. Someone like Byakuya could easily run this. I think this one also is pretty nice. So these are the only 2 from the universal ones that I think are decent. But besides that, you're really going to want to stick to getting the universal ones. And as time goes on, you unlock 5 times. It doesn't matter which one you do. You just get like 5 times the rewards 3 times. So it's like you use 3, you get 3 times the reward. You use 5, you get 5 times the reward. So this one is honestly like really like free to play friendly in a way where it's like you just get this with time. And it's like, even if you're free to play at like level 20, you could still grind this as you go, which is really sweet. So that's for the main stamp, okay? And as of right now, just to kind of show, I've gotten Ikkaku's, Ichigo's I bought, because there was a pack. I don't recommend people buying it, especially low spenders. I got Kisuke's, I got Kaname's? No, and then I got Yoruichi's. So those are the ones I got. Sajins? I think I got no, I didn't. I guess I didn't. Yeah, I got 2 random ones. So, sometimes that does happen. Sorry, no, I'm not doing that. So that's the main stamp. Definitely try and push for those 5 stars. It's only grindable. Now, for the other gear pieces, this is going to be acquired through, you could also craft it, but mainly it's going to be through, and also to get this corridor keys, right? Sorry. How exactly are you going to be getting the corridor keys? Well, you could press plus and, you could buy some, don't buy them. Essentially, Battle Rewind is going to have it, right? You're going to get it through Battle Rewind. You could do 2 on Kisuke, 2 on Aizen. And damn, they're just inviting me. Okay, anyway, it doesn't really matter. And then afterwards, in the main story, if you check out, you could see that in the stars, right? You want to get 27 stars because that's going to give you extra corridor keys. So as you go along, I think it's also in like hard and stuff, you're going to get the corridor keys through this. So make sure you get those 24, 27, 30, 33 stars so you could get extra attempts to get the exclusive stamps. Now, for these, very simple, right? You're going to be grinding them in the mutation one, Realm of Mutation. You get 2 daily runs. So my recommendation is do not actually really use stamina. Damn, they really want me there. Do not use stamina. Just do 2 runs. So for DPSs, you're going to mainly go for this one. This one's obviously for Bankai Ichigo exclusively, but this one works, right? Like if you're not trying to grind too much or use too much stamina right now, the Renji one works pretty universally. Then for supports, the best ones are going to be the Byakuya one and also the Kisuke one, right? This one's going to be good for a damage boost. And this one is, well, specifically also pretty good for Byakuya, kind of like sub DPSs. This one could work for technically like Kaname, Sajin, and also Byakuya. So there is that. And then there's one final thing which you probably don't have unlocked yet, and that's the bonds. So bonds are going to be little boosts, little passives that are going to be gotten through adventure. So in adventure, you're going to be able to, oh, we have deploy. So let's actually do this on video. We get extra patrol things and you can get stamina. So always make sure that you do activate this. I think we could just deploy like that. Yes, so this is going to give extra materials, so always make sure you're doing this as much as you can. So I think I have to re-put the 2 of them. Where is... Ooh, there she is. Okay. Oh, it was fine. Okay. And then this one, for some reason, was only 1. All right, cool. So anyway... in adventure, you're going to get deploy, so that's going to give some extra stamina, all that good stuff. But for doing these, you could see you're going to be getting some of these. So you get the Renji bond and shit like that as you go along. So with that, you're going to be able to get some of these and how to obtain. You're going to see like how you would be able to get it, how to obtain special rewards from adventure. So you would have to do the bonds, right, that we were just doing and get them, right? You would have to get a bit of luck, and that's essentially how this would work. So yeah, like basically these are going to be boosts. Now there are some that are going to be better than others for your units, right? Increases battlefield skill damage, increases all type damage during battle, right? So you could get some different types of things. Crit damage, this one for Ichigo is going to be pretty fucking nice. And I think these are just like boosts, right? Yeah, okay. So like these are going to be nice, right? 10% damage boost in Frenzy Feast. Like long term, these are definitely going to be ones to have. And that's kind of just how you get stronger, right? Level up, increase your weapon, get your skills up. It's a very simple one. The only part is really stamps that people might be confused, like where exactly do I get this? And how do I get the corridor keys, which we answered in this video. And this I would wait till later once you start getting like orange pieces, right? And that's when you're going to really start going into it. Get your 3 pieces, and of course, leveling these up, which is something that we're going to finish off the video with, is honestly also going to be important. So, like, do I have anything that I want to level up that isn't? I mean, yeah, we could do this. Okay, perfect. So, leveling it up, right, you're going to have to do gear runs to really get more XP, but this is something that I think early game I've talked about doing a lot. I think it is really recommended, to be honest, for you guys to kind of just do this, because to ascend, you're going to need this. And let's say long term, when you're doing a bunch of gear pieces, you're going to want a bunch of those ascension mats to be able to really cook long term, right? Because or else you're going to be running out of mats, and it's like, oh, well, now I have to choose between the actual gear and getting ascension mats, right? So like I think now, because you're not farming gear, you have more of an opportunity to farm the ascension mats. So I think that is something I personally am recommending you guys to do. And that's kind of it, right? There's certain things that you have to grind to tie into the powering up and getting your level up. But essentially for big boosts, it's mainly the unique stamp, right? So the stamp here, the weapon, the like a unique stamp here, right? And getting your skills up and levels, of course. So let me know, what's your strongest power? What do you have right now? And who are you planning on investing into? Was there anything you were confused about? Let me know down below and I'll let you guys, I'll respond to you guys. So thank you for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.